and what you've seen on film from them
Mhm.
so far?
Yeah, so they have the Penn State defensive coordinator now, so it's kind of like the same stuff we saw last year. Just a mixed bag of stuff. A lot of man coverage and all of that. So it's a lot of the same personnel that we played Clemson last year, but it's a different DC. So just getting prepared for that and just being prepared for a whole game.
Is it unique? Do you watch any of the Penn State
Yeah,
film to kind of watch what
yeah. I
what
mean,
or I mean now he's got such a sample size.
right. Yeah, I mean, we watched certain amount of clips, but it's kind of like a mixed bag. Honestly, it's like different stuff that they've been showing throughout the year, and it was different stuff they showed last year. So it's just just being prepared for whatever they throw at me, and just being able to go in and execute, and just execute off the jump.
You talked about your relationship with Cade Klubnik.
Hmm.
How, spend time with him at Manning Passing Academy.
Right.
How excited are you to go up against him?
Yeah.
Have you been talking with him at all this week?
Yeah, I haven't chatted with him this week, but I'm very excited to face a great quarterback like Cade. So just really excited to get up there and just have a good game with him. Honestly, haven't talked to him this week though, but after the game for sure.
What is it like being a Texas high school football
Hmm.
product,
Yeah,
especially at the quarterback position?
yeah,
There's so much pressure on you guys
hmm,
in this state when
right,
you are in high school and then you go to college and you
yeah.
guys have success. What's it like?
Yeah, honestly means a lot. Just to be involved with all the greats that came out of Texas that played quarterback in the college football or just the NFL. It's a blessing. Honestly, just being able to be from Texas. A football state. Football means a lot here. So just honestly, it's a blessing really just to be here in this situation.
I know I asked you after the game too, but what's it been like not only in games but just during practice day to day, having all your weapons
Hmm.
around you at running back and receiver?
Yeah, it just give me more freedom. Honestly, just knowing that I play with most of those guys for multiple years, so it just give me confidence just to go out there and just to put the ball in the facility, knowing they're going to be being able to anticipate pass earlier and all that stuff. So it's a relief honestly just to have all those guys back and just have all my playmakers.
When you look at the Clemson game last year, how much do you take away from that
Hmm.
and kind of your preparation
Right.
against facing either certain players,
Hmm.
corners, or any of that?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I take a lot from that. They got a lot of returning pieces, a lot of returning starters, and all that stuff. So just getting the personnel down, just getting all of that. Just make sure I go over all their players that's returning last year and see what they did last year versus us, and just try and get ahead of that really.
Now that Stanford's behind you guys,
Right.
was there any looking ahead? Like, did you start any kind of
Yeah.
prep? I know you try to stay
Yeah, nah. I mean, our eyes on Stanford the whole week. Honestly, we didn't really jump ahead, nothing like that. We knew we had Clemson coming in ahead of us, of course, but we didn't really do no jumping ahead. Just straight Stanford that week.
the experience up at Penn State last year. How
Mhm.
much does that help?
Yeah,
Knowing walking into,
yeah,
quite honestly, I don't think anybody would argue that once you've done that,
uh,
you can kind of go where you
yeah,
want.
yeah. It definitely helps a lot. Going into Clemson, the Dove Valley. We did a little talking about that. It's gonna be a big crowd there, so just Penn State really helped me prepare just for all the noise and stuff like that. So just going into Dove Valley, I'll be prepared for sure going there.
And then just as a leader on the team to bounce off of that a little
Hmm.
bit, is there stuff you're telling some of the other guys who maybe haven't played in that big of an environment?
Yeah.
Or is it just football at the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm just telling them to get adjusted to the crowd noise and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it is football. Just going out there playing a game you've been playing since you were younger. And thankfully, we got a lot of experienced guys that came from other schools, bigger schools, so they're kind of already used to it, all the crowd noise and all of that. So just going out there and playing ball.
This game, this environment, does it kind of feel a little bit like going up to Louisville last year for you? Just
Yeah.
because everybody's against you.
Hmm.
Kind of,
Right. Yeah, we kind of mentioned that in the QB room. That game is a lot like this. Away game, going to a big crowd. Louisville had a big showing last year. We went there. Clemson's going to have a big showing going there. So everybody's against you. You're back against the wall. And it's our opportunity to come out victorious.
how much is being placed on finishing an opening drive or getting some things going?
Hmm.
That's been something
Yeah.
you guys have struggled with the
Right.
last few years.
Yeah, it's something that we pride ourselves on. Last year we kind of executed at a high level, but this year we got to get it clicking back again. We'd like to receive the ball first. Scoring, put the points on the board first. Give you a better odds of winning. So just being able to execute that this upcoming week, it'll be great for us.
Is there anything you guys have seen that you guys aren't executing as far as the just lack of
Yeah, I
ability?
mean, just I think it's us just executing our base plays. I don't think we was doing that to open up the game at certain points, and just put us behind the sticks and all of that stuff. So it's just going forward and not having any flags or penalties going backwards really.